Next, let us see what is multi-level inheritance. Suppose I'm having a class A, class B, and class C. Now we already know then when my B class inherits the properties of class A, then this is known as single inheritance. Now multi-level inheritance is basically two or more single inheritances. So I can say that my C class is inheriting the properties of my B class. So basically there are two levels of inheritance, or you can say two single inheritance. So this is multi-level inheritance. You can also add more classes in this multi-level inheritance. So now my B class inherits the properties, variables and methods of A class, and my C class inherits the property of my B class, which is also inheriting the properties of A class. So I can also say that C class also inherits the properties of A class via B class. So let us check it out how the code is done for this inheritance. See over here that you have a class A having two variables side 1 and side 2 and a constructor that initializes the values of side A, side 1 and side 2. Similarly, I am having a class B that is inheriting my class A. It has a variable side 3 and using three variables, it is first initializing the values through the constructor using the super method, and then it is initializing its own value using the arguments of the constructor. Next, I'm having a C class that is extended my B class or inheriting my B class, having a variable cost and also initializing the values of both the classes that lies above it in the hierarchy. So basically I can say that using the super keyword, I have passed PQR as an argument. This will be passed over here where this X will carry the value of P and Q, which will again be passed over the constructor of my grandparent class. So I can say that this class A is my grandparent, B is my parent, and C is my child class. This is a hierarchy, right? So basically, my P and Q variables were passed to my X and Y variables, and this X and Y variables were passed to my grandparent constructor X and Y, where the side 1 and side 2 were initialized. This R argument was passed as a value or through the super method to my side 3 to parameter of this class C, that is cost, is initialized as an argument to this class. Now let us see how the main method is written. In my main method, I have my object C of C class where I'm passing 10, 20, 30 and 100 as arguments. So these 10, 20, 30 will be assigned to values P, Q and R, where first of all P and Q values will be passed to X and Y. So the side 1 value will become as 10, side 2 value will become as 20. Now the third value 30 that is given in this variable R will help in assigning the value of side 3. So basically the side 3 value will be equals to 30. The value 100 will be passed as an argument over here, and this argument will be used to initialize the value of cost, which will be equals to 100. So now if you can see in my print statement, I am first printing my side 1 using the C constructor. This will not show any error because C is inheriting B and B is inheriting A. So I can say that C is also inheriting all the properties of A. That is why I'm calling my side 1 and side 2 using my C object, and it will print the value as 10 and 20. I can also use C object to print the values of side 3. It will print the value of 30. Why? Because C is inheriting B. All the variables will be accessed directly using the object, and using my object of C class, I can also print the value of variable that belongs to C class. Now let us see in which sequence my constructors are called. Let's suppose I'm having a class A, class B that is inheriting A. So I can say that I'm having a class A which is inherited by class B. Then I'm having a class C that is inheriting my class B. So basically this is the concept of multi-level hierarchy. In my A class, I'm defining my constructor A where the value is printed as the constructor of class A. In my B class, I'm having a constructor B, default constructor, which will print the value of the constructor of class B. Similarly, in class C, I'm having a constructor of C class, default constructor, which will print the value, the constructor of class C. Now, I'm having my main method in which I'm creating an object C of C class and I'm calling a constructor. So what will be the result? Let us check it out. When the call to my constructor of C class is made, the control pass over here. It checks that I am already inheriting a class B. So the control moves to the upper inherited class. It again checks that I am also inheriting some class properties. So the control moves to the top class constructor. So the value is printed in the order from grandparent to my child class. So the value is printed, that is the constructor of class A will be printed first, then the constructor of class B will be printed second, and at last the constructor of class C will be printed. So next let us see the example of hierarchical inheritance. Over here you can see that I am having a class A, class B that is inheriting my class A, then the class C that is inheriting my class A. So I can say that if I'm having a class A, class B and class C, then my class B inherits all the properties of class A, and using the object of this B class, I can call all the properties of class A. Similarly, my class C is inheriting all the properties of my class A. I can say that using the object of C class, I can call all the properties or access all the properties of my A class. Now let us see how this happens. In my class A, I am having two variables, side1 and side2, which are initialized using the constructor. Similarly, in my class B, since it is inheriting my class A, I am first initializing the values of my x and y, or my side1 and side2 using the values of x and y to my class 1. Now, I'm also having a method area in my class B where what I'm doing is I'm multiplying the values side1 and side2 of my class A and storing the result in my area variable. In my class C, you can see that it is also extending A or inheriting A. So I have assigned the values of x and y using my C constructor. Then I'm also having a method perimeter where I have added both the sides and then multiplied by 2 to define the values of perimeter in my method perimeter and has displayed the result. In my test class, I'm having this main method. Using the object of B class, I have assigned the values of 10 and 20 to my side 1 and side 2. Why? Because this 10 and 20 will be passed over to x and y. Using the super method, this values will be passed to the constructor of my A class. Then I'm calling the function or the method area, which will print the result as 200. Now using the object of my C class, small c, I'm assigning the values of side 1 and side 2 as 10 and 20 again. So the values of 10 and 20 will be assigned to x and y variable, and this x and y variables will be assigned to side 1 and side 2 using the super method. So this is what is hierarchical inheritance, where you have the inheritance in the form of some tree. You can also extend this inheritance in further level.